equations that involve fractions, equations with fractions. The principle is still the same, but notice, of course, you need to have a very good fraction solving toolkit. You need to make sure that you know how to deal with fractions well. I'm going to distribute on this end for sure. I'll get back to that in a second. I don't have to. There's several techniques you can use, but I'm just going to distribute there. So keep that in mind. Here, I still have 2 over 3x plus 4 over 7, and that's equal to, you have 5 over 7 times 2 over 3 is 10 over 21, but there's an x associated with this. So notice you don't have to have like terms in order to multiply. And then 5 over 7 times half there, we have 5 over 14. Okay? So, one of the things you can do is to change this whole thing to a linear equation. If you don't want to deal with the fractions the way they are, I can multiply each term by something such that it will give me a linear equation. What is that thing? Well, 21 is the lowest common denominator. Let's not use the word. It's not the lowest common denominator necessarily, because 14 can go into 21. But 21 is a number such that if I multiplied each term by 21, it would get me partly where I need to get to. Okay? But if I want to be more general, I should say I'm going to multiply every single thing by the LCD. Okay? So the LCD is the lowest number possible that would allow for all these numbers to go into it. 3 goes into 21, 7 goes into 21, 21 goes into 21, but 14 does not go into 21. So what I'm going to do, though, is instead of using 21, just so I can get rid of the one with the 14 as well, I'm going to check what the lowest number possible is that allows both 14 and 21 to go into it. So here we have 3 times 7, here we have 2 times 7, and so we have the lowest number would be, so they both share 7s, so it's just 2 times 3 times 7. So you have 42. If I multiply everything by 42, it will sweep across everything. So let's go ahead and start. The first term gets multiplied by 42. The second term gets multiplied by 42. The third term gets multiplied by 42. And the fourth term gets multiplied by 42. So the first term here, 3 goes into 42 14 times. 14 times 2 leaves me with 28x. 7 goes into 42 6 times. So I have 24 left over there. 21 goes into 42 2 times. So I have 20x left. And then finally, 14 goes into 42 3 times. And I have 15 left. Okay? And so now I have a linear equation. So you've seen these probably. If you're dealing with equations, you should have seen just a general linear equation. And I'm going to move all the variables to one side. All the numbers with terms with variables. And so we have 28x minus 20x. We have 8x. And then you have this 24 still there. And that's equal to 15. So then I'm going to subtract 24 from both sides. Okay? So that leaves me with 8x is equal to, so we're subtracting 24 from both sides, so 15 minus 24. If you don't know how to deal with integers, it's a good time to pause and make sure you understand integers before you proceed, so you're not confused on how I get my answer here. Well, 15 is smaller than 24 by itself, but 24 is negative. So 15 minus 24, I'm left with negative 9. And so when I have negative 9, I divide both sides by 8. And so my final answer is x is equal to negative 9 over 8. Okay? And you can check, plug it back in and check. But if we did everything correctly, if we plugged in what we are supposed to, everything should work out fine. So that's how we solve equations involving fractions. We can change them to their linear form. Or we could have just kept the fraction we had, 2 over 3x, 4 over 7, and so on, and just deal with it like you would any number. Find the lowest common denominator, add the fractions, cross multiply, and so on. So if you want to use fractions, go for it. And we can talk about that later on. For now, I would recommend that we just clear the denominator and move forward. Thank you.